Hello, fam. Welcome to another episode of the Matter Rising podcast. Today, we are giving you hot odds on the World Cup matches that you guys have seen. And here with me, I have
Below SE.
my number one Bilu SE here again, the Spaniard, the Spaniard man. So, what do you have to say about South Africa and Mexico game?
All right, the first game of the World Cup came with so many things. But
Yes,
the first thing I'll highlight is the hate watch that happened.
trust
The,
me,
the whole of Africa we were hate watching South
South
Africa,
Africa.
and that was
Yes,
due to the xenophobic attacks that have been happening in recent times.
me, I was
And
watching them because of the Afcon
I wasn't say
drama.
touching them because of the Afcon drama, but that's just by the side. Well, proper football, you could see that there were miles between technicality
Yes.
and people who are into power and pace. The South Africans came with a tactical outplay of trying to play 3-5-2,
Mm-hmm.
having their wing backs running
Running,
towards
yes,
the attack
yes.
and just filling up spaces. But what Mexico was able to do was the fact that they were able to have midfielders who were able to progress the ball. Even
Exactly.
if in the course of the game, you could see that they were not that progressive as they should be. But
At all.
due to the fact that they play in CONCACAF, they are not as technical as Europeans
So
and
yes,
as South
yes.
Americans.
Because
You could see the fact that there was still this technical brilliance and they were able to outplay the South Africans, and the South Africans got two red cards, which was sad, but I was quite happy about it because I
yeah,
was
be like say they dey fight.
totally
Be
hate
like say they
watching
dey
them.
fight for the
Yeah,
game.
why would you come? It's a World Cup. When in 2010,
Eh,
when Sifiwe Shabalala scored the first goal,
eh,
we all jubilated.
Shabalala.
We all
Yes.
jubilated. We all supported South Africa, but run down 16 years after, the whole of
No,
Africa is
no.
against you. So
Yes,
it
yes.
says a whole lot about your people and your football. And I said it. I said if Super Eagles were here, they would have done a better thing, but we're not there. So that's on NFF. That's not on the players themselves.
Do we have to talk about Super Eagles? Should we go into that?
We can if you want us
No,
to.
no, I'm not. They already fucked up. I'm not going to that. Raul Gonzalez making his World Cup debut at 35 and scoring his goal. How do you feel about that?
You see, the thing about Raul Jimenez
Yes.
is the fact that he's a very good player. Well, not all players are opportune to have certain chances like that.
Yes, yes, that's true.
And that's because of the type of nation he's playing for.
For
That's because
yes,
of his nationality. So having his World Cup debut at the age of 35
five.
and scoring a goal and dedicating the goal to his late father because
Yes,
his dad died a few months back and all. So that's a whole roller coaster of emotions for him, and he was able to make the best out of it. And we want to see what the host nation will do, and I wish him all the best.
let's leave Bafana. Let's go to that Brazil Morocco game. For me, it's true. You know, Hakimi came out and said they refer them to as the African Brazilians in Africa.
Yeah, I saw that comment, and
Yes.
actually I wasn't going to support Morocco in that
I
match.
wasn't too.
But when the game started, I switched support to Morocco. And the reason is I saw a very beautiful player in the heart of Morocco's midfield,
Yes.
Ayub Boadi.
That
Ayub Boadi,
boy,
he's 18-year
80-year
old,
old.
and I think he plays
Whoa.
for Lille.
Yes,
And
Omolile.
Arsenal have been bidding for him. Arsenal were bidding for him even before the
Before the
World
World
Cup
Cup,
started.
yes.
Now, so I saw he was press resistant.
Like, do you get?
He was press resistant, and I was like, wow. He was giving me this kind of Sergio Busquets vibe.
You get
He was on the ball, and Morocco were dominating a midfield
field
of
of
Bruno Guimaraes, Lucas
and
Paqueta, and
Casemiro.
Casemiro. Brazil were unable to keep hold of the ball, and that was
Misplaced
where I was like,
passes.
if Senior Man Neymar was in that game,
Okay.
I feel like Brazil would have had much more control. Neymar would have used experience. He would play as a 10. He would be able
Yes.
to calm everyone down. He would hold on to the ball. He will attract fouls, and he will
And
be able to
yes.
fix balls into the final third. Brazil could not easily get ball into the final third. Rafinha was losing balls.
See,
Thiago was losing balls. Vinicius
you
Junior
see,
was losing balls. I've forgotten the name of the guy who played right back for them.
how was his name again?
I think something. The guy was being outrun.
I think he's not a right back. He's a centre back.
Yeah, he's a centre back.
Ancelotti.
Yeah, he's a
Yes,
centre back.
centre back.
But also saying it that Carlo Ancelotti, with his wealth of experience, could have still done something important and something beautiful. He could have drafted Fabinho to the right back. But I think I love the substitution he did at
Yes,
halftime, bringing
yes,
on
yes. But it
Fabinho,
shocked Baba
and they
Baba
were
self.
able to calm down the game. I just feel like Brazil is not as fluid and they do not play beautiful football as they have
Yes,
always
now no
done in
no
the
no
years
Joga
past.
Bonito,
There's no jogger
no
bonito, there's
Joga
no that samba
Bonito, no Samba
mentality. I could not see
mentality.
guys displaying skills and being able to take on players. Rafinha could not take on his man. Vinicius
Rafinha,
tried taking on his
Rafinha,
man. Igor Thiago was out of it.
no,
That
yes,
midfield, Lucas Paqueta, there was nobody dropping to go and receive the ball from either Marquinhos or
or
Bruno Gumares. So it was just a whole lot of flush and power and pace that
pace.
Brazil wanted to play.
Yes,
But Morocco played a
a
very
very
beautiful
beautiful
game.
football.
Saibari scored a nice game, and the through ball that was proved to
Brian
Saibari. You
Diaz,
know,
oh
when the coach even
no,
subbed out Unai, now let me even tell you the fact. I was thinking Morocco were going to be having problem at the World Cup due to the fact that they sacked Walid Regragui
yes, exactly
earlier. So I thought they were going to
that
have problem.
problem.
But one thing I noticed about Morocco is the fact that they go around Europe
Attracting
attracting
their
Moroccans
yes,
who actually are homegrown talents in
yes,
Europe.
Europe,
Most of
yes.
the boys that played for Morocco have never played in the Moroccan league and
Can
they were
see
not born and bred in Morocco.
Morocco.
But these guys went about scouting these good players. Imagine no one knew. I've never seen Ayub Boati.
No, I've never.
But this World Cup has brought him to the limelight,
Yes.
and that's what the World Cup is about. That's what the
Oh,
Mondial is about. So Morocco played beautifully,
beautifully, yes.
and we hope to see that group is a very tough group. So we hope to see what would come out of the rest of the games.
Yes, yes. I was watching on them like that day, but 10 minutes into the game.
Yeah,
Trust
football,
me.
football is
Trust
able
me.
to take
Trust
your
me.
emotions
I was like, wait,
and change your
who are the
mind.
Brazilians here?
Morocco were the Brazilians actually.
Vinicius tried. I'll give it to that.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Vini, he scored a nice goal. He scored a wonderful goal.
I think for me,
yeah.
it was Brazilian best player. Rafinha nowhere to be found. Paqueta.
Would you say was the Brazilian
Yes,
best player
on the pitch that day.
I
Paqueta
wouldn't say so.
lost and found.
This is the reason I wouldn't say so. I think people give credit to attackers more than they give to defenders.
Okay, yes.
Marquinhos
and Gabriel
yes, Magalhaes,
yes,
they had a very good game.
Very
they had a
good,
very
yes.
good game. But
Yes.
Vinicius also tried attacking wise, but they were not playing their A game on that day.
You know, I was so disappointed in Thiago. Ah,
If you are disappointed, I would say I wasn't disappointed in him. I was disappointed in the coach who started him.
Yes.
But looking at it tactically, from a tactical viewpoint, the reason he started Igor Thiago was because of strength.
Yes,
he would be able to do all those hold on plays, be able to trap the ball, be able to pass the ball. Just the same thing that Olivier Giroud did with France in World Cup 2018. So that was the same thing he wanted to do, to be able to, when the ball is coming, he's able to control the ball, hold on play, pass to the wingers, pass to the in-running midfielders so that they could be able to create those chances. Well, I think tactically, Ancelotti was
he didn't get it right.
in the first half.
He didn't even get it right. I think that's all for Brazil. That was all for Brazil. Let's go to the Germany game.
The German game.
The German snipers.
Yeah, so that's the reason why they are called the Dice Mannschaft.
Yes.
Very good squad. Even with the fact that a whole lot of players, I thought Adeyemi was going to make the World Cup. Adeyemi never made the World Cup. I saw a player who I fell in love with yesterday in the person of Brown. He played
Brown.
Left back for them, and Brown. I think Bayern are on the verge of signing Brown.
And I like that guy also. That Dortmund midfielder.
Oh, Memcha. Felix Mecha.
Yes, Mecha.
Felix Mecha. Yes. He also has a Nigerian origin actually.
Yeah. And they play for Germany.
No, it doesn't matter. Karim Adeyemi.
Also, God.
The Julian Nagelsmann boys played really well. Looking at their starting 11, starting from the person of Manuel Neuer, Brown, starting from Nico Schlotterbeck, Jonathan Tah.
Schlotterbeck.
They had Kimmich, Joshua Kimmich.
Yes,
they had in the midfield, they had Musiala, they had Felix Mecha, and they had one other person. They had Pavlovic in the midfield.
Pavlovic.
Going to the attack, they had Florian Wirtz, they had Havertz, and they had Leroy Sané.
You see that Havertz? When I told my friend yesterday that don't worry, just watch this Havertz. He's going to score 2 goals or more than 2 goals.
They had Leroy Sané starting the match. Now, Havertz, if you look at the progression of Havertz's career, There's no team he has gone to that he has always been sat on the bench. He
Yes.
always
I
plays.
don't understand
No,
how.
he has this peculiar style of play. He's able to hold on to the ball and he's able
Yes.
to make runs. He knows how to make runs.
And he
Same thing
used
as Ferran Torres for Spain. Ferran Torres can lose
yes.
a whole lot
Whole
of
lot of chances,
chances,
but
but he has the eyes for space. He knows how to run into space and he knows where to be at the right time, even though they might lose the ball at
oh
most times.
yes.
And Julian Nagelsmann, guys, they tried. The Curacao team tried. I rallied for them when they equalized against the German team. When they scored that goal, I was like, wow,
Wow.
wow.
Like wow.
And they had so many attacks. There was an attack that Tahit Chong had to turn back the ball. I was like, nah, this is where wealth of experience matters.
Yes,
He
but
was going, we were progressing to the ball. He could have passed the ball. They would have played a 1-2 and they would have been all out
you know
five on three.
Those
But
Germans
they were
boys, they are
unable.
very,
But
very
the German
crazy.
guys are so good. Jamal
Yes.
Musiala, a very good player.
Very, very good.
Pavlovich, and they are all young guys.
Yes, all young
They
guys,
are all
yes.
young guys.
Yes. I
I
think
think
the
it's
only it's
only
only Kip and
Manuel
Kimmich.
Neuer.
Kimmich,
Manuel
yes.
Neuer was as of yesterday he was 40 year old
Yes,
and
40-year-old.
79 days.
Yes, yes.
So I just feel like it's a very good team that's in transition. The German team is in
Oh.
transition. So let's hope to see what they would produce at the end of the tournament.
So what do you have to say about Neuer? 40 years old, like still in top
I
form.
wouldn't say Manuel Neuer was called back to the national team
Yes,
because of the
yes.
goalkeeping
But
crisis.
yes,
They had.
yes.
I feel if Mark Andre Ter Stegen
Yes, why not
was
Ter
not injured,
Stegen?
Mark Andre Ter Stegen was injured.
Injured, okay.
He has an injury. I think someone did not give a chance was Oliver Baumann. Oliver Baumann kept in some of their Nations League games and Euro qualifying games,
I
and
think
he would have stood a better chance.
chance.
But I think they needed that wealth of experience and they
Yes,
needed
yes,
to
yes. You
secure
need
their
it
goalposts
like
actually.
World
And
Cup.
I think Manuel Neuer is still going to work out well for the German national team when they get to face tougher
Yes,
teams.
yes, yes.
Curacao is just the team that just played their first World Cup and they just got their first World Cup goal yesterday and they were celebrating it. You could see the joy, you could see how happy they were to get to that stage.
So what do you have to say about Netherlands and the Japanese guys?
You see the Samurai Blues and the Dutch team.
Yes.
I would fault Ronald Koeman for something. You were leading a game and you started defending. I see no reason. I always say it's even based on the fact that I love coaching and I still
He was
want
your
to
coach.
venture
He was
into.
your coach at the point.
He was, well,
Yes.
I was never a fan of him. I was a fan of him as a player, even though I did not watch most of his games. I saw
Yes,
highlights and
yes.
what he did for Barcelona. Well, I'm not a fan of him as a coach. I feel like, and I'll still stand on that point. I'm open to corrections. Dutch coaches are some of the most obstinate
Like you
coaches you
said
can
the
meet in
last
the whole
time.
world.
Yes, yes,
They are
yes.
quite stubborn. They stick to one approach. Luis Van Gaal did the same thing.
Yes,
Eric
yes.
Ten Hag the same thing.
Same thing.
I can name Arne Slot. They believe that this ideology should be what will work for them. I believe
I
as
think
a
the only
coach,
person
I believe
as
as
a
a
coach is
coach,
only Van Persie that's
even
tweaked his own.
even as a coach, you should be quite flexible
Yes,
when
yes.
you are coaching a team. Now you were leading, and the team you were leading are one of the best teams, if not the best team in Asia. The
See their
Samurai Blue,
pace, their
those
speed.
guys. Now the thing is, those guys are quite they are quite vertically disadvantaged. Don't mind my English, they are short. So
Mhm.
that's what I mean by vertically disadvantaged. So those guys are quite close to the ground. Those guys have a good use of the ball.
Yes.
And the fact that these guys are missing about five of their players due to injury, and they still played a very good game yesterday. That's football.
Yeah, that's
You do not consider some people like outcasts. Europeans think
they are the
football
best.
is all about Europe
Yes,
and they are the
yes,
best in the
yes,
whole world.
yes.
But when you look at the past winners of World Cup, we have had South Americans winning
Yes.
much more of the World Cup. So the Dutch team, I feel like they shot themselves in the foot by defending a one goal lead against the Samurai Blue. Those people were never a people that were going to back down.
Yes. They
Were
don't
never
they
going to back
never
down. And they have stuck to the same coach over and over again who has trained them and who has been trained by Dutch coaches. Because I was listening to his interview and he was stating how the Dutch coaches that have been to Japan have revolutionized football and they have impacted their knowledge in them. So they are coming up with their strategies. They are thinking of how to play football. Their female team is still one of the best female football teams in the world. The Japanese female football team.
Really?
They win. Go and look at all the cadres of football, the under 17 women, under 20, the senior team. Those women dominate games.
So I
They
thought it
win.
was the Spaniard women or
You see the
Spanish
Asian,
women.
yeah, no, the Spanish women
Yeah.
are also there. You know, the US women also were there for some
Yes.
time.
There was
But
this girl, Alex Morgan.
yeah, the
I
Japanese
really
women
like
are
her.
also good. They are also good. When you go and watch the under 17 cadres, under 20 cadres of women football, aside from the Spanish team and maybe the French team, North Korea, South Korea, and Japan, they are the ones who always vie for those titles. They are so good. They have a good football structure coming up, and that's what they are so building on. And that's why they are producing great players. There's none of the Japanese players that were on the pitch, and most of them, I think about 75% of them play in Europe. 75% of them or 80% of them play in Europe. So they have
I think they didn't have Wataru Endo, and they
Watarendo
lost
is injured,
and they
Minamino is
lost
also injured.
this guy
That's why
yesterday.
Takefuse
Yes,
Kubo, yeah,
Kubo, he lost him yesterday.
Takefusa Kubo, yeah, that's the thing. They have been plagued by injury, but being plagued by injury doesn't mean that they'll not still
Still,
stick to
yes,
the
I
beautiful
like that. I
football
like their
they always play.
the idea. They are not like giving up. They are just going at
Now, football, you don't have to give up in
at the
football.
Netherlands.
Football is a game of 90 minutes.
Yes.
So why would you give up as at 60 minutes when the final whistle has not been blown?
Tell that to Chelsea people.
Oh, sorry.
So
I
what do you have to say about Spain?
All right, so
Your prediction. I've been waiting for
yeah,
this.
the my most preferred national team,
Yes.
the national team I've been in love with since year 2008.
Okay.
So today we are starting. Let me use we are because I consider myself a Spanish boy.
Eh.
I'm first of all a Nigerian. I'm sad at the fact that we missed out on the World Cup. I feel like we could have made a very good outing at the World Cup if we went to the World Cup. We have the squad, we have the players, and would have attracted much more players to the squad and would have played very well at the World Cup. Would have stood a good chance at the World Cup. Well, the Spanish national team is playing today. I look forward to watching that game, and I'll give you two reasons why I look forward to watching that game. Number one, I look forward to watching Lamine Yamal. It's been 54 days since Lamine Yamal last played,
Lamine.
since Lamine Yamal last played a game of football. And
Yes,
the
yes,
second
yes.
thing is, I love the Spanish ideology that Luis de la Fuente has
De La
infused into this
Fuente.
team. Now, the team is not only about possession, but it's about possession and fast transitions.
Yes.
Their last few friendlies that they played, they only take 3 touches to be in your 18-yard box.
Remember that Fabian Ruiz?
That was at the Euros.
Oh,
Now there was
Jesus.
this friendly they played that Paul Kubasi started the ball. Paul Kubasi passed. When Paul Kubasi passed, I think it was Rodri who received the ball. By the time Rodri received the ball was already inside the 18-yard box, and Oyazaba was already
But I don't
scoring the
think
goal.
you're having Rodri this tournament.
Rodri is playing in the
So
tournament.
he's going to start.
Rodri, yeah, I can from the top of my head call at least 8 people that I'm sure will start for,
Okay, name your starting 11 for Spain today.
for Spain.
Yes.
I should name my
Give me,
starting 11.
yes.
Okay, for today, Unai Simon will be in the goalpost. Marcos
Definitely.
Llorente as
So
right
Unai
back.
Simon over David
Unai
Raya.
Simon is our first choice
Over
goalkeeper.
David Raya. This current David Raya.
Are you saying okay? Should we also call Joan Garcia? Should we look at their statistics?
If you're going to do that, it's David Raya comes on top
He doesn't.
for
Saves
Champions
per
League.
game and everything. Just go and look at
Champions
it.
League.
Joan Garcia has better save percentages than.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Even in the Premier League, he doesn't have a very good save percentage.
No, I'm not saying. See, I'm not saying Unai. I'm not saying David Raya is not in the form of his life.
Yes.
He is. But you have to understand that there are cadres to this thing.
Okay.
The most preferred.
I know he's the
Spanish
first choice. Yes, he's the first choice.
is Unai Simon.
But Atletico Bilbao has not been good.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. The Spanish first choice, the person who
Unai
the coach
Simon.
believes in is Unai Simon.
Okay, let's go to my
Now, so Unai Simon,
Okay.
Marcos Llorente as the right back, Pau Kubasi. I don't know who will pick Pau Kubasi.
Garcia.
If I was a coach now, I would have wanted to go on with the chemistry of Garcia and Pau Kubasi.
Yes.
But this is De La Fuente. I think he would infuse experience where Aymeric Laporte will
Yes,
start.
yes.
Marco Cuera. Then in the midfield, we would have the trio of Pedri, Rodri, Fabian Ruiz. In the attack, Mikel Oyarzabal is starting.
Definitely.
Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams are just coming back from injury, so I am not betting them to start. So I would rather see if Oyazabal is starting, he might also start Ferran Torres and
Yes.
Dani Olmo on the
No. Yes.
wings, or Alex Baena or Yeremi Pino. So those are
I
the
think
options going
Pino
up
is
front.
good.
And Gavi also is in that squad. So Gavi might also start.
David the Destroyer.
Gavi
That
might also
guy.
start because De La Fuente loves Gavi.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
those are the options for me that I feel like are going to start. And we are
Okay.
playing against a Cape Verde team that I've been seeing comments on Twitter that if Lamine Yamal is not on the ball, they should just switch the camera to the fans of Cape Verde. Those are the people that they want to see, not the boys playing the football on the pitch. But I look forward to that game. I know this is Cape Verde's first World Cup, and they would want to prove a point. They play a
There's not
really
proving
they play
anything.
very good football, but the thing is, you can't actually talk about a team when you have not seen them in action yet.
Yes. Yes.
So we
Exactly.
would want to see what they play. Curacao also they played like this the chance against the German national team yesterday after they equalized by scoring a goal. So it depends on. Well, I trust Spain to do the job and to come out top of that.
So your prediction for the game?
My prediction for the game, as a good fan,
That's a good fan.
because I know we are people who we have respect for our opponent. So if we go further, like we just want to play
6-0.
five, five, five. But if De La Fuente said the boys should unleash,
8.
thank you. You got it. It's and guess
Oh
what? Lamine
God.
Yamal might be playing about 30 minutes.
So yes, yes.
So
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 I'm
I trust
expecting.
my boy to
uh,
get maybe a goal or an assist today. Because the world is
Oh
actually,
God.
I think this World Cup is for him because I think the whole world is ready to just watch him
For
and
him.
see. Yeah, I feel like I think he has, amongst all the current players playing the World Cup currently, I think he has the most adverts, he has the most endorsements,
Yes, yes,
and he's
yes.
the current face of the World Cup.
I
Everywhere
would
you
say
go to,
that.
it's
Yes,
Lamine
yes,
Yamal
yes,
and
yes.
all. So it's not because I'm a Barca fan or because I love, but he's a very good player, a generational player for that. So
PR boy.
we are out to
PR
see.
boy.
It's not PR.
Your PR
No, we
boy.
are out to see a talent. We are
Okay.
out to see
So what do you have to say
unstoppable.
about Belgium and Egypt game coming up?
Now, the golden generation of
Generation.
Egypt was 2014, 2018. I,
Yes.
I think from 2022 they fell apart, but they still stand a very good chance if they are going to be going with the midfield of Tielemans, Amadou Onana, and
Mm-hmm.
Kevin De Bruyne. Now, for their defense, I do not trust their defense very well.
So
I
why
don't
is
trust their defense.
De Bruyne going to De Bruyne?
He will play as a 10.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're and
and Amadou
Madonna.
Onana.
Okay.
Yeah, they,
Then
they might play as a
Trossard.
global pivot. Trossard.
Trossard.
I'm not
Really.
sure of Lukaku. I don't know if
Yes.
Lukaku will
Yes.
start
Okay.
based on that kind of season he had. And the thing is, for the defense, I am
I'm
not
not
sure.
sure.
The only
It's Courtois. It's
rest
Courtois.
is just Courtois that they
Courtois.
have, Thibaut Courtois that they have in the goalpost.
So what about Egypt coming up against Belgium?
I've watched Egypt recently, and I will say they are also the people who play PMP, power and pace.
Yes. Yes.
They just want to get the ball, and before you know, they have pacey wingers, pacey attackers, people like Omar Mamouche, people like
Yes. Salah.
Mohamed Salah, and there's this Barcelona boy that they took along to play. He's also a
I think they
pacey
should
striker.
put. I think Transigate is from Egypt too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the thing is, it's promised. It's the World Cup. It's
Yeah.
the World Cup. There are certain games I can boldly predict, and there are some games that I would literally
Yes.
not want to talk about because I do not trust what will come out. Based on the fact that Qatar surprised Switzerland, no one expected it.
Yeah. Watch that match. What
Qatar surprised
for me? It
Switzerland.
was a very boring
Australia
game.
surprised Turkey.
Yes. Yes.
No one thought.
They chopped
No
their
one thought.
turkey anyhow.
No one thought
Ah.
Australia could defeat Turkey.
I with Adagula.
With
Yildiz.
Kenan Yildiz,
With
Kalanogu.
Yes.
So they have the players, and
They
also
have the players.
it's the World Cup, so surprises would happen. For instance, the match that was played in the early hours of today, the match between not the match between Sweden and
Okay.
Tunisia.
Sweden.
I want to talk about the
ones.
match between Ivory
Ivory
Coast
Coast.
and Ecuador. Ecuador were playing beautifully well, and I was predicting Ivory Coast to get a red card, which they didn't get because they were so rough in the game. And they had Ian Diamande, who was
Yes, yes,
unleashing
Onision, yes,
power,
yes.
pace, skillfulness on Piero
When
Hincapi.
Liverpool won carry for 100 million.
Hincapi could not get hold of him yesterday, and they had the chances. And I saw about 3 to 4 balls that did hit the crossbar
Crossbar.
from Ecuador. Ecuador had a very good squad, but the game was so physical, and at least Ivory Coast got the win at the 90th
Yeah,
minute. So that's the
definitely.
game of football. You do not take your chances, you are punished for it.
Yes, definitely you should respect very, very physical game. South Americans and Africans. You should respect that definitely, definitely.